Hello and welcome to Gutter Farms. We're back with another episode of Flint Hills by JS Mapping, and today we're going to be wrapping up our corn harvest finally. We're down to just the last little bit of the field here over in the corner, and we've run out of places to put it, but I think we've got just enough storage between the bins and the trucks and the grain carts and stuff here to get the rest of this off the field and then sort out what we're going to do with it. So that's going to be our first order of business here today. We've got course play running pretty smoothly here, and we're just going to run this big 2596 cart here and unload these grain carts out in the field to keep them moving with the combines and speed things up here a bit. All right, we're gonna try and unload a little bit here on the go. As long as these grain carts have their augers out, it's making our lives just a little bit easier here. All right, we've managed to fill up this larger grain cart here, but before we run this back up to the farm, I just want to make sure Courseplay has been getting a little bit silly here with these angled rows, trying to get right up on to the edge of the row before it heads down to unload, which is just causing all kinds of hang-ups here. So still a little bit of wonkiness, I guess, with courseplay and angled rows. So it is what it is, but we're gonna just deal with that here real quick, and then we're gonna run this big trailer all the way back up to the farm and top off the pig feed. I think that this is finally going to top that off. I don't know how many bushels those big automated pig feed silos are going to hold, but I've got to imagine putting this big trailer in there is going to top it off, but we're going to find out. And we're going to bring this grain cart right around here to this feed tank and see what we can do to top it off. I think this should work. And, oh, we're already over 200,000 liters in here. I was kind of expecting it to top off at about 200,000. I wonder if this is then 300,000 or 500,000? I don't know. But we're going to find out. It does look like this bin is, like, filled up, like it has a fill plane. So I'm kind of curious if that's an indication of how full this is. Maybe it'll top off at 250. All right, well, it took all of it. We're at 294,000 liters. And just based on the fill plane and the fact that it did kind of fill up the rest of this container, I'm really thinking this is going to top out at 300. But I guess we're going to find out. And so rather than let those grain carts fill the semis, I think I am going to bring this back out to the field there and see if I can unload them one more time. I'd rather have a full load in this grain cart than in the semis, just because I've got more flexibility in where I put this corn once it's in the grain cart here. So let's run out here and cart that out one more time. I'm going to bring up the map here as well. We're really down to the last little bits of this field, so hopefully everything continues to move smoothly here. If we look at the precision farming map, we're still seeing pretty good yields. Better than we got the previous year, so I'll be really curious to see how this field does overall. Now, I don't know, I think I forgot to reset this when we started the new farm here, so I don't know if these numbers are accurate or not. But they look like they're accurate. It looks like I probably reset this since the last time. So, you know, it looks like their estimate for our total profits are currently at 593K for this field, which seems about right based on farm sim economics. And so we'll see where we end up here. But we're definitely going to make a pretty profit on this field, because we have definitely gone back into debt this year buying all this equipment to run things how we are now. We're $1.8 million essentially in debt again. We're going to come down here since this grain cart is stopped already, and his combine is going down to the end row. That should give us plenty of time to unload him while we're sitting here, which is oftentimes a little bit easier than trying to unload on the go. And then as long as this other guy is stopped up here too, we might as well try and zip down here and unload him. That'll get us probably about halfway full here, not all the way full. I'm not sure why that combine stopped. Maybe he's detecting that he's not far enough behind the other guy, or he was just slow to get started. Who knows? He's going now, though. I think this reskinned J&M 1432X is still my favorite grain cart in the game. Not only has it worked consistently well, it's got a really nice unload speed. Alright, so we've unloaded him. We're at a little over half now, 57%. And he's all ready to go and unload the combine he's associated with. And I think this other grain cart's about to get going and start unloading the combine that's heading towards us. We're going to come down here and I think just try and unload him on the go as he gets going, just to see if I can get myself topped off and ready to head back up to the yard here sooner than later. Oh, we're gonna have a massive collision. Everybody got ready to come down the same way at the same time. Unfortunate. Alright, we're gonna move this guy out of the way. We're gonna grab this guy and get him out of the way, and hopefully that grain cart is gonna get moving here. Maybe not. So we'll tell him to get going, and then we'll rearrange this guy. My goodness, Courseplay was doing so well for so long, and then just out of the blue, Courseplay has decided to go for full shenanigans. Well, I guess while those shenanigans are going, we'll get back to carting. Oh, we've caused a traffic jam. Looks like there's actually a fair amount left in that X9, so we're gonna go ahead and I think wait up here until he gets going back down this short row and see if we can finish him off. I sneak in here ahead of the Courseplay driver and see if I can just steal his job for a few minutes. I'm sure he's gonna get impatient and try and ram into me at some point here, but maybe as long as I'm here and unloading, he will give me a reprieve. I think the Courseplay pathfinding algorithm is upset that I'm in the way and trying to figure out how to get through me to this point. Pretty sure he's coming to get his revenge. Alright, we're gonna let that guy go. I'm gonna zip over here and we're gonna unload this other grain cart that's been filling up here. Should be able to top myself off. I've only got 15% left to go here. We're already pretty full. And where is this combine going is what I want to know. I'm going to head him off here. Keep him from running into everybody else. What is going on, Courseplay? Like, I don't even know what's going on right there. I guess he wants to drive down the edge of the corn path. But see, the problem is the grain cart already got all the way down there and in front of him, which I think that's going to be in the way. So I expect Courseplay to have a "I have crashed" message here for me pretty soon. But in the meantime, we're full, and we're going to run this back up to the farm, and hopefully it can work its problems out here, but I'm not overly hopeful. I think the good news is at least each of these other grain cart drivers isn't having to drive all the way back up here to unload. I could have probably set up a new overload course with a dump points here on the south end of the field. But honestly, at this late stage in harvest, it seemed like a little bit much to even bother. A little bit more efficient for us to do some of the carting ourselves here. As expected, everybody's in traffic, so we're gonna go ahead and just move this guy out of the way. Come on, you can do it. Drive course, and then we're gonna come up here, and I think it's probably the same thing. Yep, so we're gonna grab the grain cart here and move him up out of the way and drive course. Alright, course play is now gonna be good to go, and we can come up here and just confirm that we're gonna be able to top off our pig feed system. I'm almost positive that it's gonna top off at 300,000 liters here. And if we just take a quick look here, our pigs are doing really good. We've been feeding them. Most of them are pretty young, although it looks like we've got some getting to the point where we're going to be ready to start selling them off here again. So we've got a new trailer for that we want to try out when that time comes. So maybe after we're done with corn harvest here, we'll switch gears a little bit and focus on selling off some of these pigs. But let's, before I go and unload into the automated feed system, I realized that we were setting things up and we could probably top off the corn here just a smidge in the feed directly. And then we can come back here and put the last little bit into this automated feed system, which I think is going to be full at 300K. So let's see what we got here. And it's still taking it after 300K. Impossible. This fill plane is still going up too. Maybe it's 350. I don't know. I keep guessing and it keeps taking more. So I guess I'm going to stop guessing and we'll just wait and see where it ends up. Alright, well, we blew right past 350, so I have no idea how big this thing is at this point. We're just going to keep putting corn in here, and as long as it's going to take it. I guess the good news is we don't have to worry about where we're going to put the rest of the corn for this field. It's just going to go into this black hole of a pig feeding system. At this point, I feel pretty confident we'll be able to get everything into the semis and the bins here without having to start a new bag. So I guess that's the silver lining. I'm just shocked how much corn that thing's taking. But I guess we'll just run back out here to our combines and fill this guy up one more time. It looks like our lands mode here has cut through right down along the long row here by this house, so every time the combines are going to have to come all the way back up here to do these short rows, which means I expect us to run into a lot of little collisions on this up and down path here, but I guess we'll see. I'm gonna grab the corn out of this grain cart here real quick. It looks like we're at least gonna be safe from collision on this pass, but it's coming soon, that's much is for sure. But we are getting quite a bit of corn into this grain cart, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think this is probably going to end up being my last trip down here. I don't think there's enough corn that I'm going to need to come back down here to unload them again after I top off this grain cart. So if I can just get this guy full here this last time, we're going to be good to go. Looks like the way this combine lined up, he's going to be taking 2 rows off the whole way down the field, which is a little bit unfortunate, I guess, but sometimes it can't be helped. And so we're going to let his grain cart start unloading him, and then we'll jump in probably once we get past this other setup. I might be able to squeeze by up here and start taking it right back out of him. And get right up alongside him here and match our speed. I think there's enough in this combine here to hopefully top us off. Maybe not, because I guess I'm used to the combines filling up quite a bit more while you're unloading. So I think that he's going to get topped off there, and we'll be left just a little short. But we've always got more corn, that's for sure. So here's what I was talking about with the imminent collisions with courseplay. With the combines coming back up here to get to the short rows, they're always going to follow the inside of the crop just to get unloaded. So I'm going to pull off to the side here real quick, and we're going to see if we can hop out and stop this guy before we have a problem. It's easier to stop and get pulled off to the side rather than try and get a tractor off of a combine's header. So we're going to just zip, zip, zippity here, and crisis averted. We'll start him back off on his way. Hopefully he can catch up with the combine here and do his thing. We need to get the rest of the corn out of him, so while he's deciding if he's got a path back up to that combine, we might as well just sneak in here and steal what corn he's got. We are at 93% now. Not quite full, which is just a little frustrating. Alright, we're sneaking in here in front of this grain cart and stealing his job for a few seconds. Topped ourselves off. We've got 2,500 bushels ready to go. And we're going to run this back up to the yard. And we'll see what this pig feeder is going to take. I don't even know anymore. Alright, we're back for our, hopefully, the final trip. I'm all for having somewhere to put this corn, but this is getting to be a little bit ridiculous. It's gotta top off at 400k based on the spill plane, right? I mean, nobody could have guessed that it would angle up and continue to fill to the top of this thing, but that's what we're doing. There we go. 400,000. That, my friends, is a lot of corn. So we are definitely going to be set on pig feed for a while. And we're going to take the rest of this and I think just park this trailer out here by the semis. We'll probably think about topping it off depending on how much goes into the semis. I really want to check on our grain dryer here momentarily and see how that setup's doing. I know there's not a lot of capacity left in there. But we do want to check on that nonetheless, and we do have this strip here that we're going to need to harvest, so that might end up being something that we put this grain cart back to use for. So I'm going to just park it here for the time being, and let's go check on our grain dryer. So there's still steam, so it's still working here. We've got, it looks like if I stand up close to it here, a little over 900,000 in the dry capacity, a little less than 900,000 in the wet bins still. And so we are going to have to sell this corn at some point to let it finish drying or move it out of this bin. But I don't think we're in a hurry to do that now, since we've got 200,000 of capacity here, and the dryer's still running, so we're not being inefficient yet at this point. And so I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out here. If I just pop open the map here, I think we're pretty well wrapping up here. We've got just a little bit more to go. All right, so it looks like we are here on our last little bit of this field. I mean, we do have a few passes up here to clean up, but we're on our last several rounds. But this combine is almost out of fuel. I don't think we're going to be able to finish this field, so we're going to jump over here and grab this fuel truck and run it out here to the field and see what we can do to get all of this equipment fueled back up here so that we can wrap up this field. Alright, we're out here in the field just as this guy is coming down to the end row here, so perfect time to hit stop and get the fuel all topped off. Let's just put this right there. And it looks like we're good to fill. Now the trick is for this to finish filling up before our other combine catches up with us here. We want to make sure he's continuing down the rows here. So I'm going to go ahead and start him back off here. I think that that empties out our fuel trailer, so I'm hoping this other combine is going to be good enough to finish here. He doesn't have a warning yet, so I suspect he's got enough fuel to keep going. So we've got, it looks like 2 rounds left down here. I'm hoping that that's gonna fit into these grain carts. We've been a little bit surprised still, even after this entire field, just how much corn we continue to bring up. So I think we are on the final stretch though here. Not that much left. I think this cart actually has a bit more room than the other grain cart here too. So this is at what, 65%, and we've been unloading for a little bit there. If we jump across the way here into this one, yeah, this cart's already at 90%. So he's gonna fill up here pretty much right after this combine gets done turning around. I expect that we're gonna head over here and unload on the way back up and send this grain cart back to the semis. Now the grain dryer is pretty much full. If we bring up Global Company here for a second, we can see we're at 986,000 in the dry bin, and we've got 926 here in the wet side still, so we should top off this dry corn capacity right about the time we're getting done with this field. So we've got one more semi-load that we're going to be able to put into the wet bins. And so I think we're going to have just a whole little bit more corn than that here. But we'll see. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to jam the rest of this corn into these 2 carts and not have to wait for a cart to come all the way back down here and unload these combines. I know 10% in that grain cart isn't going to hold a whole lot, and so we might have to split the load between these 2 combines into that other grain cart here. And we'll see what it's looking like as we fill up here though, for sure. I know this guy's going to be good to go before we get this combine completely emptied. And it looks like we got just a little bit of a traffic jam here with these angled rows. It does seem to be a bit of a problem. Courseplay is trying to be smart and get set up here ready to head down the row with the combine, which would work in a perfect world where we were on a square headland. But when it's these angled rows like this, it tends to be a bit of a problem. And this grain cart doesn't actually have that much capacity left in it either. It's at 80%. And so by the time we're done emptying that combine, we're going to be pretty much full up. And so looking at this one already at 41%, and his grain cart's heading back up to unload, we're not quite going to make it because we've got one more pass left over there on the far end of the field to do. Let's let that guy go. I'm kind of curious to see if we manage to get this combine unloaded here before the other grain cart takes off or not. We've got 91% here. We might just eke this out still. I'm half tempted to go empty this other combine out here, but it looks like we got full here, and this guy would normally head back at 90 because he's above 95% full. But rather than let him head back just yet, we're gonna jump back here and just take what we can out of this other combine real quick. And then we'll send him back to the first waypoint when he's done to go unload into the semis. I think this might just get this guy to the end row, which would be nice. And let's, we do have the vehicle speed sync mod installed here, which makes our life really easy. Set the cruise control appropriately to the speed of the combine. And we are full. Hopefully that allows that combine to get to the end row. We're gonna find out. But either way, we're gonna send this guy back up to the semis here. We forgot to set his cruise control back up though. And so he's going to go unload. The other guy should be coming back because I think we are going to need him to get back here to unload the other combine. And this guy is at 75%. He should just make it to the end row, which would be super, super nice. That's going to allow us to not have to bring a second grain cart out here, I think. One grain cart should be enough to hold 2 of these semis, or 2 of these combines. And I think that is the end of his course as well. So that puts us in a pretty good spot. I'm going to leave him there so his cart comes back out to unload him, because I think we are going to need his cart to keep this guy going. We're at 55%. I don't think we'll make it all the way back around with that 55%. So let's go find the other grain cart here real quick. He should be just up here and unloading. Looks like we just filled up one of the semis, which is potentially unfortunate because I don't think there's enough room in the wet bin to hold one full semi. There is not. So he's not going to put everything in there. He's going to come back with a partial load, which should be okay, I suppose. Because between the cart we have coming in behind us and this one, we'll be able to top off these semis. And yeah, it looks like we didn't quite make it to the end row here with this combine. We were close, but didn't quite work out for us. So I'm going to jump back into this grain cart that we've got heading on its way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him to work for both of those combines. And then we're going to come up here to the one that's currently unloading. And we're not going to bother having this one come back out and unload anybody. That one grain cart should be able to take care of things. So we're going to go ahead and just turn course play off on this guy here real quick. And as soon as he's done filling up this semi, we'll be able to use him up here to hold the corn that we're going to be getting started on cleaning up here by the farm that we left from before. Alright, so he's all emptied out. I'm going to just drive him over here into this middle area, and we'll be able to leverage him a little bit later here. So this combine is done with his course, so we're going to go ahead and clear out his course play course. And as soon as we're done unloading here, we're going to take this combine up to the other end of the field here, and we're going to start manually cleaning up that bit that we missed when we were harvesting earlier. Alright, we had to restart course play there, but I think he's going to go and figure out how to unload that other combine now. So we're heading back up to the farm with this combine here now, which is gonna need some fuel here shortly. And as long as we're doing it, we're gonna go ahead and grab these little corner bits that we missed. Otherwise, they're gonna annoy me greatly. And it's not a lot of corn, but it's a few bushels. I mean, this is gonna be what, 3 bushels that we missed? Nice. Alright, we are back up here on the farm end of this field, and we're gonna go ahead and get a worker started off on the long row bit here. Alright, so here we are on the far end of the field, checking in on our combine. It looks like we are on the last little stretch here of corn before we hit the end of this field. We will have to send him back up to the other end just to get back up to the farm, but I think we're pretty much done. We've got a couple more rows left up here. We got a worker working on this part. I guess we should probably hop up there and unload him in just a second. But I want to make sure that this guy gets to the end of the field here and can handle what he needs to do without any problems. And we're good here. So I'm going to send this grain cart back home. And it looks like this guy's probably not going to drive back up on his own. So we'll just stop driver and take care of that ourselves as well. Get everybody brought back up to the farm here. We'll have to come back for our pickup in the fuel trailer at a little bit later point in time, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and just start this guy off with the worker on this other section here, I think. So we're going to get that going, and then we'll grab a grain cart here and unload the guy that's already sitting here that's filled up. It looks like our semis are both off and full. The one is sitting there waiting to unload, and the other one is now full and parked behind him. So we are definitely in a position where we are hoping we can get the last of our corn into these trailers and not have to find somewhere else to put it just to wrap up this field. We've only got a couple of passes left here, so we're really hoping this works out. I guess this combine's probably going to get started and unload on the go, maybe? Nope, he's quite happy sitting there. So let's get in this 9RT. Since the semis are indeed full, we're gonna take and pull this 9RT up underneath this other tractor and see if we can get the rest of that unloaded into this big grain cart, and that should allow us to, at a minimum, use this other grain cart, maybe park it. We'll find out here in a second. Let's see how this goes though. Whoops. Alright, so while that's unloading, we're gonna grab this grain cart ourselves and go try and catch up with this other combine. I'm sure it needs to be unloaded, but maybe we'll grab a little bit more of this first on the way down. Yep, we just got the 80% notice on the other combine, but it's facing the wrong way for us here still, so as he gets turned around here, we should be able to get down there and unload him. It looks like it's in the right spot, although he thinks he's completed his task, which is a little bit amusing, probably because there are some stragglers here. So we'll go ahead and just get him lined back up here, start him off on his way, and unload him on the go, hopefully. We can get caught up here before he stops. Now, I am assuming he's going to lose some of these rows over here on the right as we keep going down this way, because this was where we had the issue with course play and it started going on angled rows instead of continuing straight. So the worker should be able to turn around and pick those up on the way back down, I assume. And then that combine, when he gets to the end, should stop, and we'll bring him over and pick up this little strip that we've got on the far end of the field there. But yeah, these 2 passes should pretty much wrap up the rest of corn harvest. I'm feeling pretty confident that I'm going to be able to get that into the combination of this grain cart and the other one that we've got over there that looks like he didn't quite empty out into that big 2596. So I'm assuming the 2596 is full, and the other grain cart has just a little bit left in him. And so I think we've got this combine emptied, so we're going to leave that there. We're going to go assess this situation real quick, and then we'll move this X9 onto the final strip. I'm looking here. Yep, the big one is full. We've got 4% left in here, so I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this course play course, and we'll pull this guy up a bit so that once we figure out what we're doing, we can get the little bit of corn out of him as well. I'm hoping that we can get it all into that one grain cart, which would leave us with at least one empty grain cart for getting started with beans at some point here. But let's jump down here into the X9 at the south end of this field. And he's pretty full, 72% already. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get this last strip in here or not, but it is worth a try. And I know the other combine there should have enough room to pick up his strip because it's pretty thin. I guess this isn't a full pass either, so maybe we've got hope. We're going to pick up this little bit on the end here first, and see what we can do. It's not quite a full pass, but it's pretty wide. I guess it tapers off up here a little ways, but we're gonna hope. Oh yeah, it looks like we've got this. We're at 88%. We've only got 2 rows left here for a little bit. The other combine just wrapped up as well, so I'm feeling pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and just run this up here, dump what we can into this J&M cart, and then we may have to end up putting a little bit into that Brent as well, because this J&M cart actually is a bit fuller than I expected it to be at this point. So we're gonna have to do some math here soon and add up all of our corn. It's looking hopeful we're gonna get everything into this one grain cart. So we've got 92% filled up here. We're gonna go ahead and make the attempt and see if we can get the last of the corn from this Brent auger wagon grain cart. We're gonna go ahead and make the attempt and see if we can get the last little bit of corn out of this Brent grain cart. It's gonna be close. Oh, we're good. All right, so let's run these grain carts back up into the yard real quick, and we'll sort out how much corn we have in the yard. It's a lot of corn. All right, so if we look here, you can see the red numbers on the grain dryer there means that we're all filled up for corn there. And so I'm gonna turn off auto drive here. We've got 3,100 bushels of corn in this trailer. It's completely full. And so I'm gonna pull this right alongside over here so it's out of the way. And then we've got what looks to be just a little bit of corn in the semi over the pit here. So I'm gonna do the same thing and turn auto drive off. And I think what I want to do with this guy is he's got 20% filled up here, 640 bushels left in there. We're going to come over here, and I'm going to empty this other J&M grain cart out into him, and then we're going to count some corn. All right, so we've got all of the corn out of the one grain cart here. We're not quite full, but we're pretty full. So we've got 2,566 bushels here. We've got 3,118 bushels here. And in the grain dryer setup, we've got 2 million liters, which is about 56,755 bushels. And then we've got 2,500 bushels in here. And we can't forget all of these bags out here. And so each of these bags holds 200,000 liters of corn, I believe. And so we've got 400,000 liters here. We've got another 400,000 liters over here. And then we also can't forget we've got 400,000 liters that we put into this pig feed system. So that's 3 sets of 400,000 liters that we need to add up. I think 400,000 liters works out to be around 11,351 bushels. And so we've got that times 3. So if we add all of that up, we come out with just a couple bushels under 99,000 bushels. So we've got a fair amount of corn here. And so with that, we are going to wrap up our corn harvest here. And the next episode, we've got to figure out if we're going to lose all these soybeans when we advance into winter day 1 or not, because they're not growing here, and we're in day 6 of late autumn, which means if we look at our calendar here, the harvest timeline for soybeans ends right here. And so I really don't know what's going to happen when we advance the day one more day here, but the soybeans are not ready to harvest right now. So this could end up being a pretty bad year on the farm, all things considered, even with all this corn. And if we look here, you know, we've got the high point for corn coming up here in winter, day 3. It looks like we're going to be selling some corn. Dry corn has the same kind of pattern here. So, you know, we're going to be able to move this corn pretty soon and pay back some of the loans and such that we took out to get through harvest here and upgrade some of our equipment. But if we lose all these soybeans, that's a fairly significant amount of crop to lose. So we're going to see what happens with all that next episode. That's all for today. Kedrick, out.